Kia ora, Gemini. Thanks for joining me at the Late Room forecast today. This is your new moon in Cancer reading, and we'll just get a few cards to come out first, and then we'll talk about it. As usual, we will go through, clarify, and I'll pull a few other cards at the end. So, wow, we've got the Four of Cups, the Eight of Discs. We'll just get a couple more. Four of Cups. Anyway, hang on. There's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity, and it may well be, and remember these are very intuitive, general readings, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. There's an opportunity here. There's an offering, actually, and I do see it as being in relation to what you work at, what you've been working on. And it may not be something that you feel overly confident about. So we have the Four of Cups here, which is about offerings that come in a package that you don't necessarily recognise. And then we have the Eight of Discs, these beautiful petals here that are really well, excuse my finger, I just was doing something to myself, that are really well protected. It is a card of working and perfecting something, and then sort of having a feeling of wanting often to protect that. But I do see it like that, like an offering that comes through what you've been working at or working on recently, or possibly it's from a while ago. But let's just see. Wow. Possibly it is from a while ago. We get this amazing sort of explosion happening in here. Okay, so Four of Cups. It's pretty solid. Solid, because all the fours are, but we don't want to miss anything here. When I was saying, you know, so there's an offering. It comes from, it could be someone wanting you to make something, or it could be someone wanting to buy something, or it could be, you know, an offering that's related to the work that you do, and you're not feeling that confident about it, about offering it, about accepting that offering, if this makes any sense. For someone out there, we get the Nine of Wands, which is it is about habitual behaviours. I do see it in this reading as about that default behaviour, as in always defending yourself, or feeling that you have to defend yourself, or not wanting to. You know, it's like it is like an automatic habit. And we do miss opportunities when we exist within this for too long. And this is you know, we all experience this at times, but the habits of old, it's like a default. With that, we have the Four of Discs, another four, incredibly solid. The opening to this really fundamentally solid sort of, what do they call them in castles? You know, this is like an aerial view, those corner bits. I wish I could think of them. The only way in and out of here is through the earth plane, is in the tangible material world, right? And a lot of cards, a lot of decks, it is the figure sort of hiding some vital, covering the vital organs with coin, not wanting to let anything really go. the thing with that is that sometimes, you kind of have to expose something in order to receive bounty, in order to be able to enjoy the fruits of your own labour. Do you know what I mean here? So I find this quite interesting because we will go through and clarify. But there's a sort of stubborn element to that, strangely enough, Gemini. And then we have this explosion of the Ace of Wands, a gift of vitality. And I do believe it is somehow in this offering that this new infusion, I mean, it's new enthusiasm. It's in its rawest, it's energy, in its purest form. Vitality, creative juices. What's the word I was thinking of? Like being recognized for your skill, sexual energy. It's all of that. It's all that amazing stuff. Interesting. Anyway, let's go through and clarify this for Gemini. Let's see. Four of Cups. Yeah, look, sometimes it is confusing, Gemini. We have a decision here to clarify this Four of Cups, this offering. Do we see it as an offering? Or do we see it as? Or do we not see it at all? Based on intuition, this decision. It's based sort of on a gut feeling, actually. Because something in this is quite confusing, and I think it's quite confusing because of the presence of this default habitual defense attitude, perspective, behavior. I think we all carry that at times. We also have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups. Look at them. There's 7. There's all these options. We don't know what is one fantasy. Is that reality? Is that snake poisonous? We can't figure it out. It's very confusing. It's a card of assessment, but it's a card of having many options here and not quite being able to decide on what's gonna take flight, what's gonna be, potentially beneficial for us. It's quite confusing card, the Seven of Cups, and we can get pulled along in that by our imaginal world, by our fantasies. Is this real or is it not? So it's kind of interesting. So it's like walking through a hallway of mirrors, maybe. Let's look at this 8 of discs. I do see it as being related to whatever work that you do that you have great passion for. There's a sort of confirmation in this that with this Knight of Wands, very impassioned, very fast, impulsive, reactive sometimes, but incredibly active at the same time, with the beautiful Ace of Cups. You gotta, it's like love in its most vast form, waiting for you to give it form, and its vast potential, waiting for you to give it form. You've got the passion and drive to do that. But in some ways, Gemini, it's kind of like you kind of need to recognize that within yourself, is what I get. It's pretty lovely reading. It's got a really nice feel to it. Let's look at this nine of wands and the 4 of discs. Well, we get the 4 of discs. Maybe we just need to expose a little bit more of ourselves here. So we get that card twice, which often is an emphasis on yes, this is a great reading, and yes, maybe we do need to recognize the passion and the intensity that we embark and do our work. You know, that those, not talking about a job that you just go to and come home, unless it's, you know, it's a real passion. You know, there's a lot of creative stuff here, but as I say, a need to just allow something, just to let some level of guard down in order for you to see this. What is an offering? It may well just be confusing, but it may well be confusing. But it's a big one, because the way that you look, I wasn't even looking at that ace, but so we have another decision card. 2 of discs, expansion, contraction, this constant movement. We keep a balance, but there's a point where we have to make we have to make a decision, and this card sort of speaks of making keeping a balance within a lot of movement and a lot of chaos around us. We then have this Knight, manage, and a card of Judgment, where past, present, future all come to the party at once, and we get this 360-degree kind of visual blast, emotional blast of our existence or life up to this point. It's quite full on. There's something in here about habits, about defaults, about not feeling confident to express or expose an element, and yet having someone wanting to really receive or wanting to offer you something. And you can look at it like a client wanting to buy something, or, you know, it's like, it's pretty wild. Ace of Wands, please. Which is in Ace of Wands, excuse me, is literally sort of life force and one fiery package. The message here, because this is just an amazing kind of thing to accept and utilize and know that it is a part of how you do what you do and what you do. You know, the message here is, yeah, ditch the we have the 5 of discs, which is a card about lack. Choosing lack. Choosing to stand behind the door when they're giving out, I don't know, sandwiches or something, and you're hungry. Or letting others go before you and sort of just choosing to hide behind a curtain or something, you know. It's that we all experience this at many and varied times, and it can be a habit. And sometimes when judgment calls, we see where we have embodied that at times, and maybe there are levels of recognition of that where we have done that, where we've missed out because we've chosen that, and there are levels of possible regret within that. But what I see here, and that is this message, we've got which is another mind card. All the eights are Eight of Wands, messages coming through. Somewhere in here, you can't ignore this amazing pure gift, because this gift lies within you. This Four of Cups, whatever offering this is part of this. And it's about expression of this, being more easy and more comfortable with that allows us to be able to accept these opportunities, because it is, this reading to me is all about opportunity when they arise, Gemini. So wow, ooh, oops, this is pretty amazing. Look, I'm just about to go flat. I'll just plug it in. Sorry about this. Just when we reach the climax of it all. Isn't that right? Now. Oh, God. Sorry, Gemini. Well. Oh. Let's see. It's a tight one. What do we get? Sorry about that. We get the 6, the Singer of Connection. Look at this beautiful card. I love this card. It's electric light orchestra stuff. Connectors, they're not sort of kind of enmeshed or anything. It's just beautiful connections, sparking. And I think you must be sparking at the moment. Let's get a little mineral, crystal, rock. Could be one of the directions or elements that come out, Gemini. Let's see. Pretty beautiful reading, I think. Let's see if we can get something to jump. Sometimes it's hard to... it's hard to sort of be confident about what you have to offer. Well, we've got 2 cards that came out for you. Let's just see. We've got Onyx, which I love. Seeing the future, responsibility, stamina and self-mastery. Onyx. Love that. It's like a glistening sea. And the beautiful amber. Harmony, home protection, calm, and attracts love. Beautiful. We'll get an art oracle card just to top it off. Oh, sorry. Where are we? Vasily Kandinsky. I love his work. So, we have very famous artiste. Transcend systems to find spirit. Hear music through sight. I like that. Begin with a dot. Never a truer word spoken. Okay, Gemini. On that note, hope you have a wonderful week with this new moon in Cancer. And yeah, what a beautiful reading. Thanks for joining me. Check out your ascendant moon, Venus, Jupiter, if you know what they are. And just have a fabulous week. Okay, ka kite, bye. Cherry.